You know what we begin with every day, Deliwakiade, while we wait for everybody to come on. So um, we'll start exactly at 5 o'clock as promised. So welcome everybody. Salam Isa, welcome everybody. We're just giving it one additional minute and then we'll start. Thank you, Aisha. Well, you're not serious. That's the biggest regret you guys will ever have. Jaliba is not from Brofood. Jaliba is ours, bro. So chill. In fact, that's it's a sacrilege for you to even make comment like that, Omar. Anyway, it's exactly um 10 o'clock here in Seattle and 5 o'clock in the Gambia, I hope. And we're going to begin, obviously, and I'll invite my guests to come on. FA2BEE Ceesay, if you're with us, please join us. You can have your camera on and we can begin this program today. Oh, thank you. Welcome to
Can
the
you see me
Dad
okay?
Space. Yes, I see you very clearly. Your camera looks great. The audio looks great. Sounds great. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Okay.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, I can. The only issue I'm facing right now is you're froze a little bit, but I don't know if you can hear me well.
Yes, I hear you very loud and clear. Hopefully,
Yeah, I can. It's
okay.
just the audio is a little bit I mean not the audio, the picture is frozen, so I can't see the video movement.
Okay. Well, I guess the problems with internet in Gambia continues to happen, and we are going to try to ensure that it does not stop us from this program. But it's a little frustrating. Frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. Which what's happening back home.
Okay. Is this okay?
Yeah,
Can
I
you?
hear you. I hear you. I see you. Can you all let us know on the comment section too? What's the reception like at your end from my guest, Fatou, please? Yeah, her internet is bad. Fatou, are you with us? Are you still here? Try to ping her real quick. Yeah, so we're trying to get Fatou back on. Her internet seems to be a little erratic right now, as most people are experiencing back home. There has been issues with internet connection home, and I think people are out to clamor for quality service from the authorities who are responsible, and it's pretty unfortunate. Like I always keep saying, I like to do live conversations. I want to continue to have live conversations for many important reasons, but I think if the situation doesn't get any better, we just have to resort to having pre-recorded conversations with people, editing it, and then putting it online. But I've had a pre-demo with Fatou prior to this, and her internet seems a little more stable than this right now. So, okay, she's back on. Let me try to admit her one more time. Fatou, can you hear me?
Is this okay?
Yeah, let's hope that. Um,
Is this okay?
yes, there is a noise coming from your camera. I don't know from where. No, there's a lot of noise coming out from your end. Got you? So the audio is bad. The audio is really bad.
My audio is okay.
No, your audio is not. Your audio is bad. I don't know whether it's coming from the speaker, but the audio, yeah.
It feels like the radio when it's echoing. So when you speak, it's doing that for me too.
Oh, for real? Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know what is causing that. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? Or is it still doing the same?
It's still the same. So look up and come back on one more time. Let's see. It's bad.
What about now?
It's still the same. I can't hear your voice. It seems like your voice is altered. Yeah, same. Okay. So look up and come back on. Yeah, we really sorry about that, guys. We're trying to figure it out as always with the internet situation back home, but it is what it is. We can't do much about it. Hopefully, the quality improves for us to have this very important conversation. I think it's a lot of people are looking forward to it. But internet home is what it is. I don't even want to be stressed about that. I don't like to be stressed about that because really it's not under my control. It's not under any of our control. But I'm hoping that it gets really some basic quality for us to be able to talk. Okay, Father B is back on.
Okay, can we test out my audio now? Is it okay?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I can do the same for you too. Okay.
Awesome. I think
Okay.
good. This is great. How are you doing today?
Okay. I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. I'm very sorry about the technical difficulties to you and to our audience as well. This is not any of our doing. It's not any of our fault. The internet situation back home has been absolutely horrendous. That's in fact
Yeah.
an understatement. So I don't blame you. We'll try to do this. If at any point we break out for some reason, we'll try to come back on and finish the conversation. But stay with us
Inshallah.
and we'll begin this program proper. To begin with, welcome to the Dialectic Space podcast. My name is Ibrahim Asanko. I'm the host of this program that comes your way every Saturday and sometimes on Sundays as well. And like I always say, I like to have conversations with people who inspire me and challenge my humanity in many ways. And so that's a little noise that I could hear, but hopefully,
I think
yeah,
that's
it's an
from the
upward
mic.
probably. Anyway, we'll just try to proceed. But yes, I like to have conversations with people that I think have very serious ideas about how they can better themselves and those around them. And today it's my singular honor to have Fatou Ceesay, the proprietor of Fatou Language Services in the Gambia, as my guest. Welcome to the Diabetes Space, Fatou.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Samka, for having me. I'm really excited to have a conversation with you. So, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we'll start from the beginning, Father B. Tell us a little bit about your background. Where are you born? What kind of environment did you really grow up in? For example, what values do your parents really instill in you? And I would really love to hear about what shaped you into who you are today. So talk to us about your background.
Well, my background. Um, I think my background is I'm very open about who I am and where I'm from and most of my struggles. So it's not really nothing new to say about that. But for other viewers that do not know me and what I do and who I am, hi, my name is Fatou Ceesay, and I am the CEO of FA2BEE Services. I was born and raised in Gambia. I completed school here prior to moving to the United States. Um, and I was brought up in a two parent home, working hard, seeing them thrive every single day. So there was no room for me to do the bare minimum. But so they were my greatest examples to work hard and get everything that I wanted and needed in life. So yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. You obviously talk a lot about your parents, especially your dad, and also your daughter, your beautiful daughter, I must add, that seems to be really popular
Yeah,
around, really
it's
here
great.
in Seattle and also around the Gambia. So talk to us about your family. Talk to us about your dad, your mom, your daughter.
Um, I'll start with my daughter. She's doing wonderful. She's doing amazing. She just turned 10, which is a big milestone for me and her. She's doing really great. There's really nothing to say about her and what she's got going on. She's very smart, very you know Maya. So she's a very well-rounded kid, and I enjoy being her mom more than anything in the world. So yeah, that's that. And my mom and dad, they're all doing great. My dad is here. My mom is in New York. They're all doing really wonderful. So yeah.
Who is your biggest inspiration in life? Who has Shall I say, obviously, I know you so much that I know it's not going to sound surprising for you to say Maya is your biggest inspiration because she's your daughter. But I really want to know, really, who shaped you more than anybody else? What is the moment? Who is the person that has so much positive impact on you to sort of, in a way, inspire you to be who you are today?
Okay, surprise, surprise. It's still Maya for me, honestly. Maya is the reason why I do what I do. Maya is the reason why I work so hard. I love her so much that it means that I can struggle, suffer, do all the dirty work to make sure that does great in life. So she is my inspiration. The moment she was born, I tried to find ways. I've always been trying to, touch here, see, basically throw on the wall or ceiling and see what sticks. All for her. So I would say she's my biggest inspiration, and she's part of the reason I am who I am today, and she's also part of the reason why I am shaped the way I am, because again, everything that I do, I keep her at the back of my mind. So yeah, the short long answer is Maya. It's just her. We've been together almost half of my life now. She's 10, so it's like we're growing together, and figuring things out. So everything that I do is for my daughter.
Oh, that's beautiful and really profound to hear. Um, yeah, I mean, we all love Maya. She's amazing. She's incredible. I've had the opportunity to spend really incredible time with her, and she calls me Uncle Edie. I'm really thankful and lucky to be considered her uncle. I think anybody who crossed paths with her will really say how
Absolutely.
incredible she is. But I
Yeah.
also credit that to you. You raised her to be such an incredibly wonderful young person, and I hope she continues to make you proud as she continues to grow up in life. But let's get into
Inshallah.
your transition away from Gambia. You moved to the United States. Or what particular time in your life did you move to the United States?
So I moved to the US right after I graduated from high school. I moved. Um, so prior to moving, I was going summer holiday, the simple things, because my dad really wanted me to study here, graduate, and then go. So I went to the United States after graduating, and I've been there ever since until I moved back here. And For me, in the only issue for me, or like the hardest part about adjusting, is like they have a different work culture there. So learning that was a little bit difficult. The culture shock, obviously, to the way they do things. Just having to relearn everything that I've learned to
Mhm.
adapt, and then that was the hassle for me. But other than that, it was honestly a very smooth transition going to the US.
How long did you live there? How?
So I lived in the US over 10 years now. So it's been
Oh
over
wow!
10 years.
And you're a citizen of. So you are basically a
Yeah,
Gambian
it's
American.
been way over 10 years.
Yes.
I yes, yeah, I am a citizen. Yeah, I'm an American citizen, but I'm home now, so it's just it's just the title, but I'm here, so I'm happy with that.
Now, this is, I think, one of the most important part. I think we're going to zoom into, which basically is there is a growing interest among a lot of Gambians to move back home that live abroad, for example, in the United States or Europe, to move back home because obviously nobody wants to continue to live abroad forever. I've been living here for 5 years, but I'm already thinking about ultimately going back home because there is nowhere like home. This place is great. It's home away from home, but it's not gonna be the same. And that is almost like every
Sure.
most successful people who are Gambians and most African countries too all want to live in abroad for better things for themselves. And I don't blame them. But ultimately I think everybody wants to go back home. But I think the important point is at your age, you're pretty young. You and I, we have only a few months apart. We share the same birthday too, I must add,
We
right?
have the same birthday. Yeah, we're
Yes.
just a year apart. Yeah.
But for you to make that decision. The first time I learned about it, I said you were crazy. Just frankly, to put that out there. At that very early age, you had a decent job in the United States.
And
And I think, and you can correct me too, you started a business also here in the United States. But for you to put all of that aside and just decide to go back home to Gambia and start something new, what was the inspiration and what was in your going through your head at that time? Why did you take such a very critical decision for yourself?
okay. Um, I know you and I are friends, but they a lot of people don't know a lot. But a lot of people don't know this, but I am constantly striving to grow. I'm looking for growth wherever I am. I can get hired somewhere today, and I see something better. I can get hired today and look for a job the next day, looking for something better. That's just the type of person I am. I don't like stagnant, and you know, so the reason why I decided to move to Gambia was growth. Okay, I want to grow, and I feel like being in the United States, yes, I had a great job. I had three great jobs all at the same time. I was a program manager, I was a supervisor, and I was an intake specialist. I was doing all three jobs as a one person simultaneously, and the money was great, but it took away my freedom. It took away my mental health. It took away my independence, basically, and it took away community from me. And knowing that giving basically giving all that up and coming to Gambia has helped me expand in ways that I didn't even think was possible. But before I took the faith to come to Gambia, I did the cleaning service in America. I was doing things on the side always because I always want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be in that world. So I never let that go. It doesn't matter what I was doing, whether it was crocheting, whether it was opening a salon, whether it was the femme noir dolls. It didn't matter. I always make sure that I had that entrepreneur thing going on the side. Um, I started the cleaning business. You guys supported me. You guys were some of my very first customers. I came to your apartment. You know,
Yes.
so I was doing that. I was doing the main goal to expand in Seattle, Washington, before moving to Gambia. It was never in the plan at the time. It was how do I find expand? How do I find ways to get more clientele? A, B, C, and D. And as that was going,
Mhm.
and everything was going great, but my with my daughter again, my daughter was very lessened. I was working so many
Mhm.
hours. The only time I'm not working is if I'm sleeping. Um, so
Yeah.
I worked with the cleaning. I worked with I kept my job and I was doing the cleaning and I saw the potential in there, how much money is in there, what it can do. And during a conversation with a friend of mine, we had a conversation about me going to Gambia and doing cleaning there. I'm like, hey, I have the audience, I know the people, I have the experience. There's nothing. I don't really see anything that's stopping me from doing this. That conversation was had. Now, how to execute it was what I didn't know how to do that. Okay,
Mhm.
but that's when the laundry conversation came into play for me. so so the laundry came into the was introduced into the conversation. I was very intrigued. This was something that I personally have never heard of any laundry in the Gambia, maybe because I've never had to use any. And I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
maybe we don't have this in Gambia. Let's do this and that. We'll get into more of that later. I guess
Yeah.
but yeah, so the reason why, let me just tell you the reason why I was not afraid to move to the Gambia and take on this role or basically leave everything behind is
Great.
the
Yeah.
risk was very low. It was low
Mhm.
risk,
Okay.
extremely low risk. You understand?
Okay.
I don't have bills in America.
Mhm.
I have a great career. I've built myself where I can walk into America today and get all my jobs back, get my home, and get my car and go about my business. So I'm like, what is really there to lose? So there's
Yeah.
really no risk factor in this. It was more like, um, for me, it was more like, like how the Americans will leave America and go to Europe to
Yeah.
backpack to find themselves. So coming
Mhm.
back to Gambia was that for me. It was like I need to come back as an older person. I need to understand like I need to understand the culture even more. I need to immerse myself into this. So either way, whether I fail or not, it was easy. I can always go back to America. I can live anywhere else in the world if I wanted to. So yeah, but Alhamdulillah. Um, it's going better than I actually expected it. If I knew this, I would probably make the decision 5 years ago. But yeah, I would encourage anybody to come. And as far as my friends, my family, their opinion, I treat my life as a business transaction. I make sure I weigh the pros and cons. I analyze every part of it, like how is this gonna hurt me financially, all of that stuff, before I even communicate it to my friends and family. So at that point, it was me informing them. I was not asking for their opinions. So
Mhm.
there was really no, or at least if there was opinions, it was not shared in my presence about how they felt. But everybody was super supportive. Everybody was just go for it, A, B, C, and D. So yeah, there was really nothing. I took a big leap of faith, and I'm so glad I did. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I have so much to say to that because, like I said, I think a lot of us, a lot of the people I know and talk to, do really want to go back home, but there is not that safety net. Like you have, for example, if damn, how about if I take this and it doesn't work out for me? What else do I have to lean on? And thankfully, you did not have to worry about that because you've put yourself in a position where even if the risk that you've taken to start up a startup in the Gambia doesn't work out, you can also still go back to your second home, which is the United States, right? But I think another important point to highlight, which a lot of people don't really know, is just how hard it is to live in abroad and the work and the time and the sacrifice that it takes away from your normal life activities, especially if, for example, you have a family. And so there's back home you still work, but you don't have to work that extent to the expense of giving up so much of your life,
Yes.
so much of your family, so much of all these things that makes up who you are. So in that respect, I think a lot of us really admire what you're doing. You know, we hope we can get to a place where all of us would eventually also take that next step, leap of faith, as you call it, and go back home. Because I think at the end of the day, nobody is going to develop our countries for us but Gambians ourselves. And Gambians, I know so many qualified and competent Gambians in various spheres of life. It's insane.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, there are Gambians, even here, right? And we can do a lot more than just remittances, for example, sending money to our family, you know. But we can get into your business now. So you went to United States, you know, figured out that this ain't it for me. I'm gonna try something else. Go back home. So you went back home and you obviously did some form of market research or environmental scan, as they would call it, and you decided that laundry business is what you want to start. So you started it. And so once you started it, talk to us about how many people did you start with and how many staff do you have now and how is the business doing? And also like do you have other offices around the country? Tell us about the dynamics of the business right now. Seems your internet is still behind, but I'm not sure you are getting me immediately after I speak.
Okay.
But yeah,
All right. Can you hear me? I feel like
yeah,
I'm a bit frozen, and you are too.
yeah, I can hear you. Taza, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, I hear you. Yo, the picture is not great, but I hear you.
Okay. Okay. So So with the laundry, well, the laundry was open in 2022 in December. We're going to 3 years now. Alhamdulillah. I would, yeah, I can hear you, but I don't know if you can.
Yes, I hear you. I hear you. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. The laundry we opened in 2022 and we're going to our third year in December. Will be year three, inshallah. Yeah, and I wouldn't think who would like if you tell me that 3 years ago that I will be sitting here talking about the laundry being 3 years. I will tell you that you're lying because I was really really scared coming to Gambia and starting the business, especially the laundry. I was extremely, extremely scared. And but one thing about me is that I know like God will always make a way. It does not matter what it is, when and how. I have very good faith in anything that I do. I just know it's gonna work out. Even if that doesn't work out, we'll always end up finding a solution. And for when I started, I hired about 8 people, and I didn't know how it's gonna do. But I hired about 8 people. I want to make sure I have a person for everything. I want to make sure we're well equipped. I want to make sure we're ready for when the public comes in, to support. Alhamdulillah. Now we are at over 23 staff.
Oh wow,
We are at over 23 staff. Yes, yes, we
that's
are at
amazing.
over 23 staff, and sorry. Yeah,
I said that's incredible.
I know. And there's more hiring coming. There's more hiring coming pretty soon for other services that we are adding on to our services, or but yeah, right now we're at 23 staff. We started at 7 or 8. I'm not sure 100%, but we're at 23 at the laundry, and we don't only do laundry, we do cleaning. Obviously that's my baby because that's the first thing I've started doing even before the laundry. So we have cleaning, and I do private orders for people that are not in the US or don't have access to buy stuff in the US. I become their bridge between here in the US or anywhere for whatever that they want to order. I do liaison services for people in the diaspora. So it could be anything. It could be from like, hey, can you help me purchase the styles? Or can you go here and check this out? I have this. Like, it could be anything that you need me to handle, you need me to run for you while you're away. I do that. And the most recent services that we added onto our service is FA2BEE delivery solution. It's brand new. We started this month. Still, trying to be out there. But there's a lot of work going on in the background, making sure like before I come out, everything is perfect and we are ready to serve the general public. So for FA2BEE services or any FA2BEE, Danica, just look at it as our slogan is the Amazon of services. So anything you can think of, it doesn't matter how big or little it is, just ask us, and there's a high possibility that we do it or we can do it for you. So yeah, well, just the Amazon of services. Look at it like that. Um, yeah,
So you were into a lot of things back home now, and I think also at this juncture I would like to highlight that
I
you are
know.
also one of the most prominent young people in the Gambia in terms of business now. I say that because you're so popular on Snapchat. I think since you posted my flyer, I just get at least 100 and something people all trying to follow me, just because of you shared this interview that we are going to do, and you constantly share stuff that you're buying and you're selling. But talk to me about that experience too, because e-commerce is not very common in Gambia. At what to what extent do you buy and sell on your Snapchat and social media accounts in the Gambia, and how much of that should other people also utilize?
Can you repeat that last question? You were breaking. I want to make sure I hear exactly
Yeah.
what you said
No,
so I can
no,
answer it better.
I was actually highlighting that I just know how prominent you are among really the young people in the Gambia, and that e-commerce is not very popular in Gambia, but you do a lot of buying and selling, and you market on Snapchat, which you're very popular in. A lot of the older community probably don't do this, but how valuable is that platform for you in terms of how you do your business too, and other social media platforms?
So I look at social media as my full time work. It doesn't matter if I post the sky. It doesn't matter what I post. It's just my full time job, and a person that is living a different lifestyle from that will probably see it as excessive or excessive, right? Because
Mhm.
they are living a completely different life. But I want people to also understand that being on social media and my real life, it's like black and white. You understand? And in a society here where, again, like you said, the e-commerce is not very popular here, we're still learning, we're still getting used to the whole social internet stuff or whatever. There's a lot of people there, and there's a lot of people with different opinions. It doesn't have to be good, it doesn't have to be bad. Everybody has their own opinions and stuff. So I think the only bad thing is that people you know people basically box you into like this thing like, oh, key social media regular or ning social media doron I'm
Right.
wallet, right? But
Mhm.
they don't understand social media is deeper than that. Everything that I'm able to achieve was because of the people online. And I'm not even talking about people that know me, people that I talk to. It's people that I've never met, people that I've never crossed paths with, that see what I do and they support wholeheartedly. Okay, but now what I tell people, when if you're gonna be on the social media, especially the Gambian community, you have to have two personalities. You have to have one that you put on the social media, and you have one that you reserve for the people that matters to you. And I know I built this identity outside of who I am. I build this chaotic girl. I build this social media person. Like anything that basically, if you meet a person that's never met me and you say, "Do you know Fatou?" They will describe me or thinking they will tell you, "Yeah, I know her, this and that," which is far from the truth, right? But you have to give people and Gambia. I'm so sorry to say, but we are behind, and there's a lot of dark things and a lot of mentalities that are really terrible. So, in order for you to survive this entrepreneurial life, in order for you to survive, you have to give them a character to attack. You have to give them somebody that they despise or despite whatever. You have to give them somebody that all the negative energy goes to, and you protect who you really are outside of that. And
Mhm.
and this is what I tell people: if you're coming, you want to do it. It's fine. It's draining. It's chaotic. There's a lot of disrespect. Um, this just be ready for anything, but your main focus is just know who you are and be just know who you are. Be okay with who you are, and then come online and present yourself. That's my advice.
And obviously, sometimes it hasn't worked out for you the way you describe it perfectly. There are instances where you found yourself in some form of controversy or in some form of this situation by virtue of your social media engagement. And I'm pretty sure sometimes either your family or some friends would call you back to say, because you're also a human being, some things get to you, right? And but how do you navigate that? Because you also, a lot of what I see publicly that you do, you also like to be very
How
vulnerable
do I
of
navigate that?
yourself and who you are. Yeah.
So the way I navigate is just I accept the role that I play. I accept um, that what I'm doing comes with all of that. So it's just a matter of accepting the decisions that you make, accepting who you are, so that you can move forward and be who you are. So do they get to me? They don't. I look at it as it's a price that I have to pay. It's a price that I have to pay for. There's a price for everything that you do in life. So me being online is a price that I have to pay. People knowing me is a price that I have to pay. People having opinions over anything that I have to do is a price that I have to pay, because I know where I'm going, I know what I'm building, and I'm okay with that. So if you're somebody that is not okay with things like that, if you're somebody that will sit home and cry because people said this and that about you, you're not built for this. Because I'm telling you, in Gambia, they are ready to take you down. They are ready to take you out. We don't have a lot of legacy here. Like, let's say people like Sanko Silla, I feel like if you say Amazon, Jeff Bezos, you can say it for the next 1,000 years, for the next 100 years. But for us, we live for a short period of time before they dismantle you, they hate you, and they all of this stuff, right? We don't never try to say, okay, there's this person that is trying something. Let us be behind, push it so that our name can go. It's never like that. Everything here is treated individually. Everything is treated personalized instead of like a community. We do have a
Yeah.
community, but it's just a front. It's just an African community, but it's not really like a community that is trying, to push people or do anything. Everybody is worried about themselves. Everybody is everything is individual, personalized. I don't know. So if you're not okay with that, don't be out there. Find other ways, find other things to do. I am okay with that. I am completely fine with anything and anything. But I'm where I cross the line is my daughter. She's not on social media. She will never have that. She's not on TikTok. She's not in anything because I don't want her to be a product. I don't want her to be consuming these things that people are putting out there. Because I put things out there that I don't even want her to see. You understand? I put
Yeah.
things out there that I'm doing intentionally, deliberately for my work. Everything that I do is 100% for my work. It's fun. It's very rare for you to go on the internet and watch me watch other people's story. I barely even watch it, not because I can't, but because I have so much going on. I'm constantly talking to people, fixing orders, doing this, talking to the laundry, talking to the cleaning, talking to the delivery team. It's just so much going on, and it's just one person. I don't have a person or an investor or you know a partner. It's just me running the show. So you can see how why that would be super hectic.
Quick question though. At what level do you separate, or even if there is any separation between FA2BEE, the brand of the business, and FA2BEE, the person, the human being, right? And I ask that because I think, to some extent, we've seen this in certain instances where, like you are the face of the business, you are the brand of the business, and how you carry yourself, the things that you do directly affects or represents the business, right? And also, there is the business that is stuff associated with the business directly, like if you guys are marketing the business product and stuff. So, at what point, or is there any time at all, there is a differentiation between part B, the brand, part B, business, you represent, you're the person of the business itself, or part B, the person? Because I think for a lot of people, that's probably they don't know where to draw that line because of how, obviously it is your business, you own it, you hire all these people, you run all these programs for your business. But for example, if you're not there today, it's got to be instituted such a way that the business is going to continue. So between the brand and the human being, how do you really make that differentiation?
Um, there's a big difference between the brand Fatubi and Fatubi season or
Mhm.
Fatoumata Ceesay. Okay, there's a big difference between Fatoumata Ceesay and Fatou the brand itself. And the Fatoumata Ceesay is reserved for me, my child, my family, and close friends, and not for everybody, but that's reserved for that. And everything else that they see, everything that's online, is just the brand, Fatou the brand. We don't. It's not. There's no mixing. There's no twisting anything, and I have teams in place where I can leave for a whole year or two, and the business is running as very smoothly. It doesn't need me. I don't need to make any decisions. They already know. Everybody is delegated a tax where it. We run a very tight ship around here. Understand? So if I want to switch all of this off and be me, like things that I like doing, reading and going to the beach and traveling and spending time with my daughter. Whenever I need to switch a ton of social media, switch far to be the brand, I can completely do that without it affecting any part of my life whatsoever. This is what I tell people: you only exist when I have my phone, when I'm on my phone. But when I put my phone down, nobody and nothing else exists or matters. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. That's important. So talk to us about what are some of the biggest challenges besides social media, obviously, and you talked about just how individual we are, even though we are a community, but there are still issues with, But I also believe, I think, to a better extent, it would be fair to say you are being supported by a wide range of people in the community because people take your service. There are really great reviews out there about the quality of the service that you're giving to people, either it's through laundry or other service that you're providing. But what is some of the biggest challenges so far since starting a business in the Gambia that you continue to face?
I think the biggest challenge for me, at least when it comes to the business, is teaching them my way, teaching them my customer service skills, teaching them that every little detail, no matter how small it seems to you guys, it is a big deal. And so that was very difficult for me because Gambians, they are very ego driven, and I understand and I know where that's all coming from. Everybody is working around mad, angry, ego, all this stuff, right? So training them and making them see things as professional rather than personal was the hardest for me. Was the hardest for me. Training them on customer service, training them how what urgency means, training them on like when you tell somebody A, it should be A. When you tell somebody this, it should be this. So that was my challenge. But other than that, I have pretty amazing people, and they're doing better than me. They've merged. They understand me. They know how I work. I can text them. They can text me, and it's been going great. It was a struggle for a year, but alhamdulillah, yeah.
I mean, and that's not only exemplary in your company. Like, you know this better than me also. When you move abroad, one of the first things you learn if you work for companies or agencies or government is company or agency culture, right? And there's a certain way that things are being done here. You have to learn that the hard way. And Gambia, we just all used to doing certain things just so nonchalant, right? People don't care. People come to work anytime that they
Very
want.
nonchalant.
People feel as
Very,
though
very non.
their
Sometimes.
customers, but yeah, Gambia, you go to the bank, the banker, the teller is telling you, oh, let me have my coffee and then serve you. You go to the government, other people feel as though they're doing you a favor when basically they are there for public service, right? And so when you establish a
I know.
company, you have to really instill and teach, just like kids, about this is how I want to do this. And people most of the time are very resistant to change. And sometimes what you do is you bump heads because people are used to doing things a certain way, and Gambians are not willing to have, and which I think is a very important point, to have a young Gambian lady to reach to the apex of success by starting a business. You're not a man one. We are a very, very masculine society. We're a very patriarchal society. We're not used to women leading. You can count the amount of big scale businesses in the Gambia that have been led by women. I don't know of many. I probably know of only few. Even though we have small individual businesses in the market, they sell our fish and all these things. So that part of your community is always going to be questioned. Even if you want to change certain things, there is always going to be resistance, right? So to be able to even teach the way you want to do things, to put customer service and customer satisfaction at the climax of what you want to do, I think it's really impressive. And if you continue to do
Thanks.
that, I can see why people would definitely want to work with you because there's nobody else cares in Ghana. You go everywhere, people don't give a flying. They don't give a flying F about customer service, or they don't, government officials don't, public officials don't really care about making sure they understand that they are there to serve a purpose. So I think in that respect, because I've seen you even address customer service even on your social media platforms. Either you're apologizing to some
Yeah.
of your clients to say, oh, we're going to address this, or this happened, we're going to make sure this doesn't happen again, or you're holding somebody accountable because you have a brand to maintain, so you have to maintain that standard and quality, right? So
100%. Yeah.
hopefully,
Yeah.
your clients continue, I mean, your staff continue to work with you in that respect. But in generally, the business culture in the Gambia, right? How supportive or what sort of partnerships do you have, if any, with the government or other private? businesses in the Gambia or agencies? Do you have any partnerships, or do they patronize what you're doing, or do you just work with individual persons in the Gambian community?
I have worked with, they're very supportive. They are very supportive, but it's at a cost, and it's not, it has to be earned, and it can be used against you. So again, this is a very weird place to be. But I wouldn't trade the Gambia for anything. I wouldn't trade all the nonsense that comes with it for anything. But as far as support goes, I've gotten so many support. And there's some businesses that I can't post. It doesn't mean we're not doing it. There's some places in the Gambia where the government, you can post, you can show that you're there cleaning it. There are some security places that we go to clean, that we can talk about. I've gotten support from the government, the airport. I clean there.
Are you cleaning
They,
Barrow's
they
office
they reach
too?
out and all of that stuff. What Where else can I think of?
The president's
There's some
office?
things that I can't mention for even something. Huh?
Are you cleaning the president's office? Come on, tell us
I try
here.
to dress up for you. This is not my thing. I have I was dressing up for you, but I rather be in my sweater and my shorts than this. But I want to dress up for you. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of support. I've gotten support from even foreign governments that are here that will reach out to me to go to their embassies and stuff like that, clean it. I wish I can show most of those things, but I can't. But yeah, like I said, they're very, very supportive. Everyone is, but it comes at a cost, and it has to be earned. Basically, it's a very weird dynamic.
So, what is the best way for anybody to really reach out to FA2BEE in terms of the service that we provide at the moment, especially the cleaning and the laundry? And where are the locations at right now?
There's several ways. There's several in this ton of ways located. Okay. So to reach out to me, I have about 5 assistants that work for me directly. So any of those people, they can relay a message, or if I need to be aware of something, they can relay it to me. And you can reach out to me through any of my social medias, and the business's social media too. There are people handling that. The laundry is located at Bruceby. The main laundry is located at Bruceby Phase 2. And there's one at Latrikunda Big 3 behind the Africell. And there's one that is opening very soon, is in Banjul at the Independence Drive. I'm very excited. That's going to be the third branch. Um, and everything else we provide as home services or virtual.
Are we going to have one in Brikama? I don't like this
Yeah.
presentation at all. Are we going to have one in Brikama? I think our connection is running down. Can you hear me?
I am. I should have one in Tabokoto. Like that, I should have one in Tabokoto because I'm from there. We will have one in Brikama because Brikama called Mundo Molete. So we'll have one in Brikama.
No, for real though, you need to have one in Brikama. You absolutely need to put one in Brikama too, if you're able to. Hopefully, you have the resources. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, cool. So we're wrapping
I
this
will.
up.
I,
We
I will. We will.
just just give me maybe a question. Are you also open to individual investments, or say private investments into your company, or is it right now just individual owned, just you and your family, or it's your business and that's it? You're not looking forward to any form of investment with other people if you want to like expand.
I think it would be shallow of me to say I am not gonna accept or even show interest in investors. That will be very shallow of me. I am open to it. However, it has to make sense to me. For example, if there are things that you wanna if whatever that you want to invest in or do, and I realize I can do that myself, it wouldn't make any sense for me to sell a part of my business to that person when I can continue to keep 100% of it. And I like the 100% of it. I make the sole decisions. I decide what I want to do, how I want to do, what I want to change. I don't perform well with other people because I feel like I'm very I'm very impulsive. And with this with the impulse though, I'm very confident in the decisions that I make. So for another person to be there as a partner, some of the things might sound crazy, some of the things might be too slow for me, or that is my biggest fear, working with somebody that's not at the same wavelength, the same pace, and the same mindset as me. So this is why I haven't really opened up to any investors just yet. Just yet. You just need to
Okay,
present me something that makes sense, and then I'll see what we do.
cool.
But I'm
I
open.
think okay. I think people are calling that in the comment section that they need your service in Brikama. So I want you to take note of that. And I'm very pro Brikama, so I'm mentioning that
I
right
will. I will. I will. I love Greek comedy, so I most definitely have to. I will. I promise. I will.
Very well, very well. We've covered a great part of the business now. I think two more things before we wrap this up. One is talk to us about, not the business. We've talked about that in detail. People know where to find you, and I hope they reach out. But really, you're not into politics in Gambia at all. You try to stay away completely from that. It's not any of your interest. It has never, at least as far as I've known you, has never been part of your interest, right? And you've had other things that you're really interested in, and most of that is really about how to make money, right? To get more money, to take care of stuff you want to take care of. But you've also been very vocal about who you are and your femininity and your interest in life, traveling and dressing up and speaking up about things that sometimes are even controversial. And sometimes some of these things become extremely controversial and lands you in situations that I think if you sometimes look back, you probably like, yeah, I probably should have done this better. Now, having you in this stage of your life right now, what is the call for hope for FA2BEE going forward, growing? Your daughter is growing. I believe, like obviously I always tell myself, I have no regrets in my life. Whatever experience that I have is a learning curve for me. And I am thankful and lucky to be able to have that experience. So long I'm a human being, I'll continue to grow and evolve. At this juncture of your life, what sort of things are you particular about that puts you in a position of ease and peace, because that's important. I don't feel like a lot of people really see that. Is, hey, I'm at a really peaceful place in my life. I'm not really interested in what you're saying about me or what you're thinking about me, or in fact even how you're judging me. But I am asking this because I see that vulnerability of you out there. You're not scared to put yourself out there, right? But what is your call for hope in terms of moving forward with your life and how people really deal with you, especially being in this place as a public figure now?
Yeah. I think I've given people so much of my life. I don't think that they can request or take anything away anymore. I've given them so much to the point where I feel like I am at a crossroad now. So this is where I stay small, or this is where I cross and become bigger. This is where my name is more than the social media part. Because now I'm actually trying to phase out of the social media. I'm trying to stay completely. I don't know how I'm gonna withdraw, but I'm trying to stay away from that because it's easy. There's a lot of people that watch. There's a lot of energy, and if sometimes even if you don't want to react to some things, you're only human, and you will react to sort of clear your name. But for me, it's never about clearing my name. It's just stating facts. I'm never scared to say, this is what I see, it's black and white, and I don't like it. This is this and that. But now I'm at a point where I'm like, Maya is 10. She can do that maybe. But for me now, I want to work with bigger people. I want to worry about bigger contracts. I want to focus on that. I want to phase out of the. I feel like it's so. I feel like it's so small for me now. If I'm not saying I'm big, but if I want to get bigger, I need to switch around. I need to change the people I'm around. I need to change the mindset. I need to see. I need to identify where somebody is, and then be that. Basically, be that. See, mirror what they do, ask for advice, and completely phase out of social media if I want my FA2BEE brand to be bigger than, to be international. Because the point is starting in Gambia is the whole thing. But Gambia is just to start for me to see how everything is. And then eventually I know I will not be here. I will be international. So in order to do that, I need to change a lot of things. I need to ignore a lot of things. I need to be bigger than a lot of things, for my sake, for my brand's sake, and most definitely for my daughter's sake. What is so important to me right now is her. She's 10. She'll be going to college very soon. When she's 16, and we have already started working on making sure that she gets into the choice of college that I have for her in mind. So right now, because I have a tight shift, all my staff are doing really well, and all the other you know improvements and expansions that we're doing, I'm doing all of that until December, and then I want to focus on other things. I want to focus on my daughter, making sure her college application will look great, enroll her in different things, and give her my full support, and work with people that are bigger than me. I don't want to be work. I don't want to be around somebody that I have to tell what to do. I want to be around people that can tell me what to do. I need to be bigger. And in order for me to be bigger, I need to stay away. I saw how small the social media can be and can make you feel. And I don't think Barrow is on Snapchat. I don't think, all these important people out there worried about what they're doing. So that is my next step. So let's say going into 2026, it's less me and more of me networking with people and trying to get to their level that I want to be at. Because I've worked a lot, and I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and we need a new FA2BEE. We need a new
Reincarnation.
idea, a fresh
Yes.
start. It's not even a start, but basically, yeah. Thank you. So that's what you're gonna see moving forward, in 2026, inshallah, hopefully.
Well, you put that very nicely. Just before I get to the final question, I just want to add that I also think, Father, sometimes you forget that you're only 32 years old. You need to give yourself some grace too. I think sometimes we forget that is you work so hard that I feel like, and because we're so much in the thick of young, youthful exuberance in Gambia, sometimes people look at you as this person, which in a way is also good because there is no such thing as bad publicity if you are into that aspect of strategic communication, as they will tell you. But you're pretty young, and to be at this level, and to be this accomplished, and to have all these entrepreneurial ideas, and you're working towards accomplishing that. And on top of that, you have a 10-year-old daughter. Well, if anybody do not admire and respect that, then they probably have other personal issues to handle with you because I just don't know. I disagree with you on a lot of things. There are a lot of things that you do that I probably reach out to you and we have conversations about it. I respect you enough to know that you're not going to take it personal. That at the end of the day, it's knowing your greatest potentials and certain things are just a way of distraction. But you need to give yourself grace to understand that sometimes it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to like be in certain platforms or to be in certain situations that otherwise you would never in fact would have been. But there is not, I can tell you for certain, there is not a lot of 32-year-olds who are able to do what you're doing, both here in the United States and also in the Gambia. So if that is anything to motivate you to in fact tell you, hey, like keep doing what you do, then this is it. And I'm not just saying that because I'm your friend. Yeah, obviously we've been friends for years, but I'm not in the thick of your life like that. Since you moved to Gambia, it's been different, but it's still all love. But yeah, I think we need to appreciate that. We need to appreciate each other. We need to tell each other that, hey, I see what you're doing. I see the life that you're touching. I see the employment that you're creating for people back home. And for me, that is significant. Everything else should be basically secondary. Let's focus on that. How can we support you in that process to ensure that we create more and more jobs for young people back home? Because that should be our goal. How do we create generational wealth for each other? How do you continue to empower those young people who work for you in the Gambia for them to take care of their families? That should keep you up at night. That will probably keep you up at night.
It does. I'm obsessed with becoming successful. I'm obsessed with. I think my obsession comes from. I think like my daughter, to be able to stand and say, "Oh, I'm Fatou BEE's daughter." I want her to be so proud of where she's from. I want her to be. I want her to never be that person that is. Um, Looking at what other people have. I want her to always be the first person to have stuff because her mom sacrificed that. Because her mom is okay working donkey jobs. Her mom is okay scrubbing other people's toilet. I don't want her to do that. I don't want her kids to do that. I don't want their kids to do that. So I'm okay being all these things. I'm okay taking on everything as long as the next generation from my bloodline are okay and are taken care of because of my struggles and everything that I have to sacrifice for them. I'm okay with that. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that I do. Even sometimes I don't even agree with I don't even agree with some of the things that I do. But my mindset, I'm at a point in my life. Not even it's been almost forever. I guess since I moved to America, people's opinion to me, it's just like I'm like I have opinions about people. They're gonna have opinions about me. But what helps me is that after all those drama, all the social media drama, I don't have any other problem in my life. I'm not worried about what I'm gonna eat. I'm not worried about being home and somebody abusing me or yelling at me. I'm home scared or I don't have a place. Like I don't have any trouble outside of working hard and maybe the social media drama. So I give people a little. I give people benefit of the doubt. I'm like, you know what? Talk about me. It's okay if that's gonna help you forget about your problems. For 15 minutes, for 20 minutes, for an hour, it's completely okay. As long as once I put my phone down, I shower, I get to do anything I want. I get to go anywhere I want. I get to eat. I get to behave, buy anything that I want. So I have to be thankful to Allah. Fase problemo dol dila. And until problemo mo minti wale, it's the social media. And again, like I said, once I phase out of that, once once people don't see me again, people don't associate directly with me, what else is there to attack? What problems do I have going on? What issues do I have going on? I don't. So I'm thankful and I'll take this because you cannot have it all in life. You can't. So I'm okay with this. I'll take anything that comes with it. And obviously, I've created boundaries moving forward with people. I've created boundaries for myself and even social media things that I say and share because again, the mentality here, I it's just too late for me to really understand that the mentality of the people that I'm used to and coming here and the mentality of those people here are completely different. The things that I will probably post or talk about, or it will see as like, oh, this person is showing off. Oh, this person this because they are taught to be small, they are taught to hide, they are taught to this, and that's okay. But it doesn't mean that the other person is something else just because this is the way that you are taught. But I've learned that the hard way, and again, and I've learned that too late. So there are boundaries that I'm building every single day, and every day for me is a learning lesson. So just you take it or leave it. Just take what's good and leave what doesn't work for you. So everything's been working for me, and I'm not gonna change the way I'm moving forward.
Well, Father B, this has been really
Yeah.
wonderful talking to you. And it seems your camera keeps popping in and popping out, but yeah, you're back on again. And really wonderful stuff you're doing in Gambia. And I hope that
Okay.
you continue to really grow, continue to learn, and continue to evolve, and continue to create employment for people back home, and keep growing your business yourself, uh, and accomplish the purpose for which you create the business as well. On a final note, do you have any message to share with the audience, either personally or just professionally about your business? This is the moment to do that before we close.
Yeah. Professionally, for well, I'll just do a little recap on like the things that we do. If you need to do your laundry, you can come to FA2BEE. We have two locations and currently working on the third location. If you need cleaning services, it doesn't matter what it is, you can contact us. We will clean. We clean couches, we clean carpets. We come to your home when you do construction and you want to move in. We'll do the move in cleaning, move out cleaning, store organizing, basically just anything service wise. Just think me. I have a kids salon. It's all kids, just kids in the salon. The delivery services is going on. Everything is all under FA2BEE. Just search it. If you can't find our numbers anywhere, but I'm sure Sonko will put the numbers here. The main line is 2511115. Again, 2511115 for any questions that you have whatsoever about my services. And brand new one that is not official, but I'm working with people is the liaison services. It's where people ask me to basically do anything for them. Like recently, I helped one of our people get obtain a land. So I'm not selling the land directly. I'm just verifying and making sure that I am there and I'm present, to make sure that everything that they're saying is true and is real. So just look at me as your and the Amazon of services. Just ask me if you're not sure, and I'm sure I do. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so, any other personal message you would like to share with the FA2BEE audience? Is there anything else?
Yeah. Um, yeah, well, I'm very thankful for all the support that I've received from them. I think my audience, I've never seen audience love a person as much as mine they do. It doesn't matter what I put out there. It doesn't matter what I say. They are jumping. They are supporting. So I appreciate you guys, and I want you guys to know that I owe all of this success to you guys. And if you want to start a business, whatever that you have to start, just have a clear picture, be okay with who you are, and then come online and present yourself. But the online is where everything is at. Online is where you can reach audience, more audience than you can ever imagine. Online is everything, Danica, is online. Don't be scared. Put yourself out there. Trust who you are. Be confident who you are. That way, when you do get attacks, when you do get all these other things, it doesn't break you down. You continue working towards your goal. That's what I'm gonna say. So I think that's it. I think that's all I have to tell them.
Well, Father B, thank you so very much. Thank you for really agreeing to do this with me on a very short notice, I must add. And really, it means a lot for me, uh, especially because you're the first female guest on this show that I've started. And I really appreciate you coming on. I really appreciate all of your insight, all of your work that you're doing. But also, I really appreciate you as a friend that I've known for as long as I've lived here in this country. I'll end by saying that one of the very first people that I met who was really there for me at a very dark time of my life was you. And for me, that's something that I'll always remember. And not just me, I've seen you do that for a lot of people too. But in many ways, that is very symbolic of many Gambians abroad. You go somewhere new, you have not known a lot of people yet, and you meet somebody who are there for you and they support you through that transition. So I wish you all of the best. Thank you once again for coming on, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you, Sanka. Thank you. I appreciate you for having me. Thank you, and I love you. I miss you. Mol man nyo dyan, ka bring nato balik sa mimbin. Mol nyo dyan. I appreciate you and congratulations on this. I am very proud of you. I am very, very proud of you. You know that. And then, all the conversations we have, if we were to say 5 years ago that we're going to be here and I'm going to be in Gambia and you're going to be interviewing me and you're going to be doing okay, married and all this, we will say no. So I'm very proud of you and I'm so happy to be a part of your journey. And I will support you in whatever way that you need me to. And anytime you want me to come up here, I will 100% have absolutely come on. No issues at all. I will love
Thank
to
you
support
so much.
you and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Fatou. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much to our audience who are watching
Yeah, of
on
course.
YouTube and on Facebook and also on Twitter.
Of
And if
course.
you want to watch this video, it's going to be on my Facebook page, but you can also watch it on our YouTube channel as well. Fatou, it's great to have you.
Yes, thank you, Sanka.